Good morning, DBS. Yes, you woke up. I know the party was nice yesterday, but you're back with us, and we are making sure that despite the amount of energy that was likely to be exerted over the past weekend, you still have enough to get you through the day. Of course, we're doing so the right way by making sure you wake up with the morning news highlights. Let's check those out.
Good morning. Just for Fun has been named the Band of the Year for Carnival 2022. The band also captured the Spirit of Carnival prize.
In fourth place, we have Jordan Auger from Tribe of 12, Sunbird of Asgard, 412 points. In third place, we have Cedric Laurent, Island Tribe, King Congo, with a total of 424 points. In second place, we have Tanisha Nikki Williams of Tribe of 12, portraying Blue Nebula with a total of 430 points. And in first place, we have Sharon Tanner of Tribe of 12, portraying Luska, Guardian of the Imagica 13, with a total of 441 points.
The results for this year's festival, the first in 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, were announced on Wednesday morning by the head of the Carnival Planning and Management Committee. The Commissioner of Police, Milton Daisy, says a rebirth of the police force as an institution is needed if it is to meet the security needs of the country.
As commanders, we must be innovative and proactive in taking actions. If the routine duties do not yield the desired results, we need to change our approach promptly. We need to adapt to change quickly as commanders. We also need to set very good leadership examples to enable the appropriate behaviors from our team. Our teams need to remain engaged on the job consistently, and that can contribute towards improved motivation.
The Commissioner's comments come against a rise in gun and violent crime in the country. A formal review of Carnival 2022 is yet to be conducted, but organizers have already recognized some shortcomings which they have pledged to address. They're also celebrating some major successes, including pulling off a crime and incident-free festival.
The infrastructure along the route was in place as usual with the medical stations and hospitality areas to allow both revelers and viewing patrons the opportunity to use those stations that were set up along the parade route. This year, we introduced some new infrastructure to the parade to help more along the lines of security with the lookout towers that were being used by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, with the addition of lighting towers that were placed in strategic areas to provide additional security and more overview of the parade, again from a safety and security standpoint.
Overall, organizers are giving the event a passing grade, especially in light of the challenges faced in putting it all together, not the least of which was the COVID-19 pandemic. High operating costs for vendors during Carnival celebrations have the president of the Craft and Dry Goods Vendors Association, Peter Isaac, appealing to the government to create a more amenable environment for vendors to ply their trade.
We had quite a good turnout from vendors. We were able to execute our task as we were supposed to. And, we do a review of what came in, what the situation is. But, we got, the vendors came out. The vendors did come in and purchase their spot and did what they had to do. We were great. I think what we were very happy for was that the weather was very good. So people were actually able to ply a fairly good trade over the 2 days.
Isaac is calling on the authorities to do better and to consider the vendors' plight in light of St. Lucia's current economic situation and the hardships brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
And that's a wrap for our morning news highlights. Thank you so much to our dedicated news team. And when I say dedicated, I mean I'm sure a lot of you saw them out throughout the carnival season, making sure that in addition to entertainment, you still get hardcore news. So shout out to all our reporters and the entire news team, the cameramen, Steve, Kwame, we love you. Thank you so much. Right now, we're heading to a quick commercial break, but keep it locked because we will be right back. We're back. We're coming to you directly from Track Sports Bar and Grill in Rodney Bay, and we're catching up with Sidil today. Now, the hairstyle looking fresh, the shades looking nice. You just come down, friend.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay. So we see you've been busy locally, you've been busy internationally. What's it been like for you coming back into the hectic music scene post-COVID?
I love it. When COVID happened, you tend to realize that a lot of things you miss it. The same goes, you don't miss it until
it's gone.
Until it's gone, right? So I'm just happy to be in a carnival season where we could go out, perform at events. I was at Soca Monarch semi-finals, and for me, I was just taking it all in. The fact that there's a huge crowd, there's people performing, people enjoying themselves. So I'm just happy to be back in the swing of things. And it's been hectic. Myself, I'm a promoter and an artist, so
yeah.
I have a lot that I do during the carnival season, preparing for Transcend and JOB, as well as performing. And it's stressful if you hear my voice now. My voice under pressure already. And it's because I ain't sleeping and things. All because I want to ensure that, I put my best foot forward as a promoter and as an artist. So I love it. We're back.
All right, we're back, and I think that's the right way to just encapsulate everything. So where I was leading with that, what at this stage in your career, having seen St. Lucia's music industry develop, what would you want to see come into St. Lucia for local artists? I mean, you're on the international scene as well. Of course, you would have interacted with members of the music industry out there. So what do you think St. Lucia needs to bring in?
I love that question, because what I have realized is that in St. Lucia, we don't make our artists stars. I would love to see more of that. I would love to see companies getting behind artists and using the artists and the music to promote their stuff, rather than having to go overseas to get an artist to promote their stuff locally. I think that sometimes we have a tendency to place more value on what's happening outside rather than what's in St. Lucia. And I was sort of guilty of that as well. It took me a while to, reprogram my own thinking. We grew up in what some people consider a small island, and then we look to islands like Jamaica or Trinidad, even Barbados.
Yeah.
And we look at their artists and their music, and we seem to have this attitude that that's
it's always glorified something out there.
Correct. And it took me years to understand that we are just as good as them. You understand? And that's no knock on my brothers from the other islands. Many of us are friends, but I say all of this to say that we need to start placing more value on what we have here. And we need to prop our artists up, prop up our industry. So I'm very vocal when it comes to that kind of stuff. When I see something, for instance, like it's St. Lucia Carnival and there are events using foreign music to
when
promote
there's
our
so
carnival.
much local music out.
Right. Or when a foreign artist is coming to St. Lucia and you have locals on the cast as well, but it's the foreign artist's name, and the locals are considered and
like
many
the
more.
fine print.
Even that too, and many
and
more.
many more.
You know, I want when I see a flyer for foreign artists. I understand they may be the headliners, but right alongside them can be our local acts as well. And one of the things I noticed like about countries like Dominica, even Grenada as well. Grenada, I remember watching an event online and Marsha was on the show. Of course, Marsha Montano is a mega
huge
superstar,
artist.
right? And what was interesting to me is that Marsha didn't close the show. And anyway, I've seen Marsha in my life.
He's
he
always,
closes the
exactly,
show.
yeah.
But he performed probably the one before the last. The local acts closed the show.
They closed the show.
Right.
That's
And I
that's
thought-
different.
And the people stayed to see
To
the
see
local
them?
acts. Yeah. So it wasn't like Marsha performed, everybody going
Everyone.
home. So I think we now need to start adopting that kind of thinking. Our artists are very capable. We have artists like Arthur Ezra, Shemi J, Michael Robinson, Ricky T, Teddyson John. We have capable artists who could put on a show. So I want us to continue supporting our artists and prop them up, make them the stars. We need to get the ground behind our people and make them the stars.
I think the concept of putting local artists towards the end of the show would be amazing in St. Lucia, because you already know St. Lucians are people to pull up to the event.
Right.
Around, the event starts at 8, but you reach at midnight
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the main artist is coming on
Right,
at midnight. So you
right,
have to catch them after.
Right,
As well,
right.
that would be really, really cool.
Right.
All right, Cedil. So we know you're busy for the carnival season.
Mm-hmm.
We know we need to keep locked to your socials for information on
Right.
your performances, on
Right.
your releases, on your events.
Right.
So let the people know how they can connect with Cedil online.
I'm on Instagram mainly, and on Facebook as well. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Cedale_IG. That's SEDALE _ wait, I say underscore IG. It's underscore DTS.
DTS, Deeper Than Soca.
Correct. Cedale _ DTS. So it's SEDALE _ DTS. You could search me on Facebook as well. I love Facebook because I get to engage, in different discussions.
Facebook has been coming back lately, I've seen.
Right. So for me, for instance, last night was the Soca Monarch semi-finals, and there's discussion on there about the quality of the show and the performances. I remember, what's up, Haley? I remember seeing some people were saying that the show, the performances were not that great, right? And they thought that the crowd was pretty dead. For me, I didn't understand that because I was there.
I was there.
And to me, the
There was
energy
a lot of,
was
and
up.
it was raining. They were probably watching us when it started raining,
Raining.
and everybody ran.
Inside.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. And I think watching a show on Facebook versus being there is different.
You don't feel the energy.
Right. When I was there, I felt the energy. As a matter of fact, I took a minute to just kind of take it all in because we haven't done this for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was happy that we just have people on stage performing it as a show, and then the turnout was good. So there's discussion on Facebook, and I'm involved in it, and I'm giving them my perspective on how things look to me. I mean, I was impressed. I'm not saying everybody was impressive. Some people are stronger performers
Yeah.
than others, but generally speaking, I thought it was a good show. And I think that we need to continue supporting these events. We need to come out in numbers because I hear a lot of talk, people not feeling the carnival season.
Yeah.
And my theory as to why that is, I do believe that we would have a lot of events that are catered for the grassroots. Carnival is slowly becoming a premium product
Yeah.
where everything is more expensive, and it seems to be targeting people who have a certain income. But Carnival is and has always been something very inclusive, so it's important for us to remember that and include everybody in Carnival. And again, that is why we reduced the prices on our tickets, because Carnival cannot be just for foreigners. Our Carnival is unique because we are unique as St. Lucians. So we need to be mindful of that and cater events to everybody. You know, I'm not saying we can't have premium events.
Yeah.
We can, but we could also have events that are more grassroots. Yeah, so we touch everybody.
I think it's nice that you're not just raising the issue, but you're addressing it at
Right.
the same time. So you're not
Right.
just talking and saying, hey, I have a problem with this. You're putting in the action and making sure that you address it as well.
Right.
I mean, with your Instagram, you did mention Sidil DTS. What's going on with Deeper Than Soca?
Well, Deeper Than Soca is the brand, and all the events that we are hosting, it falls under that brand. It's a brand that we've had the brand for a few years, right? A few years right now, yeah. So the brand also does charitable work as well. In the past, we've had a school tour where we go to the different schools and we speak to the students about the arts. So we promote arts in the school. And as a matter of fact, we went to, was it Denry Riviere? I think we went to one year, and T Blacks performed. He was young. He was probably in Form 4, Form 5. And I remember seeing him perform, and I said, okay, that boy have it. And I remember telling him that. And just recently, I discovered a picture that we took.
With
at
him?
That, yeah, we took that picture. And I remember distinctively that he was very impressive. So to see him now doing his thing, it warms my heart because I remember seeing where he came from. You know, so the school tour is something that we're looking to start back next year. With COVID happening this year and our carnival kind of now coming back, you know, certain things we were not allowed to do. But that's one thing that I want to definitely resume. And then do more work in the communities. I'm from a community in Castries, Laclery. I'm a Laclerian, and I'm very proud to be from Laclery. So one of the things that I want to do is give back to Laclery, because things have changed from when I grew up there. Laclery is a community that's very big on sports
Yeah.
and music too, and I want to bring that vibes back into Laclery. So these are things that Deeper Than Soca does. You know, it's just not all about fete and music. Giving back is very important to me because we have to inspire the people coming up behind us, and you know, we have people who are not in positions where they could help themselves. So we
Yeah.
have to lend a helping hand as well. So yeah.
All right, amazing stuff coming out from you, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the ground again. Of course,
Right.
COVID is, well, making its way out the door.
Right.
We're still being careful,
Correct.
but we are outside, and we are outside with Sidil and Deeper Than Soca.
Yeah,
Right
man.
now, we're heading for a quick commercial break. Keep it locked. Hey, welcome back, DBS. Right now, we're on a stroll, I should say, down from our office in VG, making a stop in Shock, and we are here with Miss Sa'ira Simmons. Now, she walked on screen and she was already bringing the energy, and having visited the school, I know that the Sa'ira student body has always been about energy. So, how does it feel bringing that presence that your school is so well known for to the pageantry stage?
Well, I feel very good about it. I feel good that I was the one selected to represent the school. I think that I have all the qualities and all the appropriate stuff that I need to represent them.
Okay. So she has the qualities. Can we get a little bit of insight on what those qualities are? Why do you think that you were selected?
I'm not only good academic-wise, but also I play netball. I play for the school's team, the school's netball team, and also I play for the Avengers Netball Club. I am currently running for student council for the school. Oh my God, I'm nervous.
Don't worry, you could go from I am currently running for.
I am currently running for Students' Council at the school. I've been selected to represent the schools in various activities and in various competitions and stuff. So I think that representing the Thyra Simmons Secondary School, it's a great opportunity.
Okay, and I think the school has made a good decision. Of course, if they keep choosing you to represent them, that means you're doing a good job. So we're expecting you to continue along that path throughout the pageant. Has pageantry ever been something that you were interested in ahead of time? I know you did mention a heavy sports background. So hopping off of the court and onto the stage, is that something that you saw yourself doing before?
Well, I used to dance, so the stage isn't really a new thing to me, but I've always been interested in pageantry. So I think that given this opportunity, I'll take it and I'll show them what I got.
Okay, fantastic. And outside of your student body, we know the whole student body is for sure behind you, giving you their support throughout this pageant. But I need to know, what part of St. Lucia are you representing?
I am representing the community of New Village, which is located in Castries.
Okay, now that is a group of very supportive people. So we already know that on the night we have a large block of viewership going out to support this lovely young lady. Are you looking forward to any specific areas of the pageant, any specific segments? You did mention that you're a dancer, so is that what we're expecting to see for your talent?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I'll be ready to surprise you all.
Okay, fantastic. So you did mention as well that you have a very strong academic background. What are you studying for CXC?
I am studying principles of accounts, principles of business, theater arts, Spanish, and that should be all.
Okay. So you're coming out to be well-rounded, I'm realizing. So you have the sports background, you have the pageantry, you have the business area, you're learning Spanish. I mean, you are really coming out as a force to be reckoned with in the pageant, but in the world in general. And that's the kind of growth that we love to see in young ladies of the day. Outside of that, though, do you have any activities that you are particularly fond of? Any hobbies?
Well, currently my hobby is playing netball, and that alone, playing netball.
Okay. So heading into the pageant, you did mention that the support has been great. So if you'd like to send a message out to your supporters or to anybody who is still deciding who they will be supporting in August, what would you say?
All I could say is, since this is my very first pageant, I will try to bring my game on, try to be confident as possible, and outgoing. So to the public, I'll just like to say, come support me, show me some love as I dazzle you all away.
Amazing. I guess I'm ready to be dazzled. I hope you are too. Thank you so much, Mr. Thyra Simmons.
again. Hold the vibe and bounce with your friend. Country mix with a soca blend. Hold the vibe and bounce with your friend, lad. The thing come back again. Hold the vibe and bounce with your friend. Oh, the thing come back again. Come back, come back. Hey, give me a rhythm and a bass, and so we coming down. And everybody in the place jumping and having fun. Oh yeah, you with your crew over there, and link up with the crew down there. Everybody hands in the air, bounce around right there. Howdy, 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 howdy. Boy, give me a rhythm and say why, yeah, yeah, why, yeah, yeah. Howdy, 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 howdy. I let it feel so nice, really nice, so nice. Look to the person next to you and say nice to meet you, nice to meet you, so nice to meet you, nice to meet you, good to meet you, nice to meet you, so nice to meet you. Hey, it's me again. Settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. Yeah, icebreaker. Oh.
And that is a wrap for today's show. Before I can send you off into the rest of your day, I need to share with you today's thought for the day. And that is, love the you that you are today. Because when you think about it, that's the person you spend the most time with. So why not have a healthy relationship with them? Look in the mirror and you need to learn to love that individual. Being by yourself does not mean you have to be lonely. I think that I am great company. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.